The sentence on count 2 is 5 years imprisonment. The sentence on all other counts except count 4 is 5 years concurrent. The sentence on count 4 is 5.5 years consecutive, making a total sentence of 10.5 years. You will be eligible for release on licence after serving half the term, and you must abide by the conditions of the licence until the full sentence is served. Please go down, Mr. Gill.
Nathan Gill, the former MEP for UKIP and the Brexit Party, leader of Reform UK in Wales, has been sentenced to 10.5 years in prison after pleading guilty to taking bribes from individuals linked to a pro-Russian influence campaign. Let's bring in our correspondent now, Alice Porter, who's live at the Old Bailey. Remind us all about Nathan Gill, Alice.
Well, this really is a fall from grace for Nathan Gill, who was the former leader for Reform UK for Wales. He was also a former leader for UKIP in Wales. And here he's been sentenced at the Old Bailey for 10.5 years after pleading guilty to 8 counts of bribery. And this all goes back to when he was a member of the European Parliament, and he was accused of a pro-Russian interference campaign, and that pro-Russian interference campaign had 3 strands to it. One, that he was given money to go on pro-Russian media outlets and speak in support of an ally very close to Vladimir Putin, and that's Viktor Medvedchuk. So that was one strand of this pro-Russian influence campaign. But there was another strand to it as well, and that was for him to make speeches in the European Parliament between 2018 and 2019. And these were, again, pro-Russian speeches that he was being paid for in bribes by what is now an ex-Ukrainian politician who is himself also pro-Russian, and that's Oleg Voloshin, a pro-Russian former Ukrainian politician. And they were exchanging WhatsApps, and he was encouraging him on certain speeches that he was making in European Parliament to give a favourable light to Russian behaviour. And Nathan Gill was also encouraged to co-opt other MEPs who had a similar political persuasion, and we understand investigations into that are ongoing. But these bribes that went on for a considerable period of time, we understand from Scotland Yard, accounted for about £40,000, so a significant sum of money that was exchanged there in response to Nathan Gill, a 52-year-old man, making supportive comments in the media, in Parliament, trying to give a positive message of Russia, only a few years before, of course, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So it was at an incredibly sensitive time. And this all came about in 2021 when Gill was at an airport going to fly to Russia, when he was then stopped by counter-terrorism officials and they took his phone. And it was then when they looked at his phone that they saw a number of long exchanges with Oleg Voloshin, who is this ex-Ukrainian politician who is favourable to Russia. And they had a number of exchanges back and forth, including making it clear that there were bribes that were taking place in exchange for him, Gill, promoting this pro-Russian message. And in the WhatsApps that we saw, heard in court today, those WhatsApps described Christmas gifts, and they were a euphemism for briberies that was taking place. Now, at no point in these proceedings has Gill offered any explanation for his behaviour at all, and Scotland Yard had said that he was motivated by pure greed, and that was something that was really echoed in court today by Mrs. Justice Cheema-Grubb, who said that he had abused his position of trust as an MEP, which is meant to act with integrity and not for personal interest or gain, and that is clearly not what happened here. And she said because of the harm that he inflicted was profound, she's given him a 10.5-year prison sentence, which he will serve